What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, so I was just telling Leo, I was like the energy for the dance moves is coming back. I was getting a little worried there, Cancer, but I don't even understand why you always bring it. But with this weekly spread, Cancer, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. There's always gonna be energy here for you, Cancer. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a 1-to-1. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on the situation. Okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. Now I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box as well, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching Cancer, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. One of them's a Cancer. Cancer, I think you'd like her. But let's get into your first card here. How funny, Cancer. Well, you know what? I'm not spoiling it for you because you'll have seen this. You'll have seen that one before you see this one. But Cancer, you got the exact same card for your general energy of the day for the Chariot friends, which we'll talk about that a little bit more if you're not familiar. But let's talk about this ninth card of Taurus, because it's still card. Still coming through, Cancer. And this is a card of refinement, taste, culture, style, fine-tune, concentrate, develops over time, purify, filter, draw out, infusion, spirits, alcohol, perfume, reduction, and cultivation. And energy that's coming through here pretty strong, Cancer, is the develops over time. And I feel like for some, this is kind of asking, there's this energy of patience that's coming through. Maybe we have something that that needs time to develop. Maybe we're learning a new skill, for example. Maybe this is like a language, or maybe this is an instrument. Maybe this is or maybe this is a new skill in general. Something that it's like maybe something we've always been passionate about, but I'm getting this energy of like something we've been passionate about, but maybe what's been deterring maybe for some of us is that they're already maybe experts in that field possibly. And it's kind of disheartening sometimes because it's like we want to already be at that place where they're at and maybe even better there. But it's just like once we get started on this thing, it's just like we see that where talent does come to play with that, Cancer, there is this energy of time that is needed as well to develop these skills as well. I'm getting interesting. I'm getting like Saturn energy coming through, and that makes sense because that reminds me kind of like of how when I'll talk about with our opposite sign Capricorn, even with like Aquarius, since they're they're ruled by Saturn as well along with Uranus, but Saturn is about, developing that wisdom over time, going through these experiences. And, he doesn't just give up things just for nothing. We got to put in the work in order to reap the rewards. But it's when we do man those rewards where it's a little different from Jupiter, where Jupiter just kind of gives and gives and gives. Saturn, it does. It just like it has this deeper type of meaning because it's like we can look at the experiences every moment that we're working on this. And let's say, for example, if we were to work on an instrument, I feel like that's a good one. It's like at first, you see with like the piano, it's like we may have been able to barely play chopsticks when we first started off, but then when it's like, when we started elevating into like, I don't know, Mozart, look at you, Cancer, you just a natural. But it's just like we can look at those kind of moments and we appreciate those times a little bit more. And then that gives us motivation for when we go to that next thing as well there, Cancer, when we have that next hurdle, because there's always going to be something that we can, it always going to be areas that we can improve in. And this could even be something like where we're focusing on like maybe a certain routine, maybe we want to develop our fitness over time, or maybe we want to, I keep even getting like maybe just like some sort of development of knowledge, even like maybe something where that's needs some sort of like intensive studying, or intensive extensive studying and intense studying there, Cancer. Very interesting energy, but I do feel that it's something that I'm even getting like the Hierophant in the sense, Taurus's card, where it's one of those things that, yeah, just requires that patience and that perseverance and that tenacity there, Cancer. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details. You can get like a Nine of Wands type of energy that's coming through there that just need to kind of push through. But all right, Cancer. Let's see what's going through here. Oh, all right, Cancer. Oh, and there we are, one of our cards here. So you have the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Discs, the oh, excuse me, the Nine of Discs. I just got them to switch over. The Nine of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and then the Tower here. Cancer. I know we got a lot going on here, but I feel like for some of you, I feel like we might be in this state of where it's like we have this, we know where we want to be as far as like whatever this is that we're trying to develop over time. We have that image already painted in our head. We're seeing ourselves doing it. It's fantastic there, Cancer. And I feel like that is a great energy to be in. It's like, to have that idea out there, but it is remembering that, because the Nine of Pentacles, this is Venus and Virgo. We're working towards that Empress energy. When we are working towards becoming an Empress, that Empresses just don't happen overnight. It's something that does require work, and it requires being in the routine of that energy. Even keeping that picture in mind when we're met with like challenges, and we're met with that, and we're met with, yeah, like, because even like the Knight of Swords, he's a very future oriented knight, but he's a fast moving knight too. And it's just like we want to be careful, I feel like, of trying to rush this thing along there, Cancer, and maybe giving up too soon, because I feel like this is, with this, whatever this is a matter of quality that we're trying to bring into as well, and I feel that with the Four of Pentacles kind of being here, that it's going to be something that it's going to be an investment, something that we're going to need to kind of save this, keep this energy in our reserves, and really to be kind with ourselves, with the Queen of Cups being here. This is one of our cards here, Cancer. And because I'm even thinking about how the Queen of Cups, for me, she rules the first two deacons of Cancer and the last of Geminis. That type of energy is a lot of thinking and a lot of feeling, and like a lot of processing. And I feel like that, the Queen of Cups is a very reflective queen as well. She's the one that cherishes all of her experiences in life and appreciates the challenges and the changes and the drive that is needed in order to get to where she is at this current moment in time. And remember, and keeping in what keeps her motivated for the future. And we got to be, something to be mindful of too. Just think with the Knight of Swords, it's that future thinking. He rules the first two of Aquarius and the last of Capricorns. It's remembering too that where it's like we're in this energy of we're great, like a culmination, Cancer. I mean, all of us, of the past, present, and future, kind of wrapped into one, because we take those past experiences that drive us in the present in order to live that future. We're coming into our future every single moment, and so I feel like there's this need to kind of ground yourself in the present in order to really appreciate the growth that is happening at a moment by moment basis there, Cancer, because the Tower, that's Mars energy. and and I feel like that as you're growing and as you notice how your skills evolve over time, it really is a wonder when you do take a moment and reflect back on that. So, and even to, Cancer, sometimes how you think things are going to go down and how you envision stuff, it completely can, it can take a left turn at any given moment there. The Tower moment is like this, or the Tower is like this kind of like shock to the system in a sense. It's well, let me get a little bit more on this Tower, Cancer. Thank you. All right, Cancer. So the Tower is clarified by the Two of Pentacles and then the Five of Wands here. And that's where I feel like it's just like, how do we keep, that's more, that's, yeah, there we go. Because that feels like, how do we keep that foundation, that Ten of Cups in mind, that motivation, that, again, that tenacity, how do we keep that in balance in like this, in the face of when we meet conflict? Because there's always going to be something that challenges us, Cancer, but it's that challenge that keeps us pushing towards that next chapter, towards that next level up. So, and the fact that you're already, we're already working towards that Empress energy, I feel like that's a great sign, and keep that as a reminder, where even Empresses have time where they need to be patient, even at their best. There's always something that can always improve of. And I'm even thinking too, there's this group that I like watching, this like workout thing that I been utilizing for years. That's one of their favorite things to say. It's just like that, there's if there wasn't anything to work on, and to be, there's no challenges there, then, this journey would be kind of all done and over with, Cancer. So just something to keep in mind of there, I feel like, as well. But all right, Cancer, let's get another oracle on the mix. Thank you. Oh, all right, Cancer. So you have the seventh card of Aquarius, which is the optical illusion card. And with this card, this is a card of not what it seems, mirage, trap, unclear, visual effect, confusion, head trip, trick, hallucination, hocus pocus, sleight of hand, projection, and predictive programming. And the energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is the hallucination. And that's interesting, because I feel like with this, so this is a totally kind of separate energy here, Cancer, because I feel like for some that there is this, hold on, Cancer. Got a candle here that I'm gotta keep, that went out. Oh, are we not gonna go? Well, Cancer, I feel like with this hallucination here, that there is this, hold on, Cancer. I'm gonna pause for like 1 second. All right, Cancer, we're back. So I feel like with this hallucination kind of popping up here, I feel that there's something where, and maybe that's where I was kind of feeling that shock to the system earlier with the Tower being here, because I feel like for some it's like maybe we've been almost kind of like hallucinating in the sense of just like maybe we have this idea of maybe like how we go, I could kind of tie into that, but it's like maybe it's like we have this idea of how we go about achieving like our sense of fulfillment, or establishing this legacy, or wherever this is that we might be kind of working on in life. But there's something here that's just, it feels it feels almost misguided in a sense, or it's just or it feels like that there's this misunderstanding, or that there's this thing of like, there's this expectation, even that it's, I'm almost even kind of getting like an entitled type of energy that's coming through here, Cancer, like of what we, it feels like that it's like we, because the Ten of Cups can kind of be like that happily ever after. And I feel like that is just something that we expected just to like kind of happen, or maybe we might be dealing with someone who expects, or who's going through that, who has that sort of expectation there, Cancer. But let me get a little bit more on that and see what that's about. Oh, there we are, Cancer. I love it. And so we have the Chariot, Cancer. And then you have the Queen of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and then the Magician here. And it feels interesting, Cancer, because I feel like that with the Magician and like the Six of Pentacles here, that there's this, even like the Queen of Swords, there's this idea of how things are supposed to, I guess it's like how we're meant to do something. I guess it does kind of tie in a little bit with this develops over time. It's like, I just feel like that maybe we've expected something to happen a lot faster than we wanted to, or that we've not were there's this level, or there's not this balance of, as far as like, because here's the thing, Cancer, you get back what you put in. Whether this is like developing a skill, like if we want to be like Beethoven, for example, we're not going to be able to get away with that just practicing like 5 minutes a day. It's going to be something that's going to take some hours and some years, in order to get there. And it feels like that for some, there's this energy of, it's like as soon as the real kind of like challenge, like the Five of Wands, that sense of conflict kind of comes in, and then that real sort of like an effort and initiative needs to come through there, that the Chariot starts to slow down some, and it starts to lose some steam, and then we start getting out of alignment with this dream here, and then it feels like there's this, it's like we're essentially kind of waking up from a dream in a sense, or that there's like you were saying, I'm thinking like the mirage sort of fades. And I'm even getting for some that maybe there's this energy that some of us, it feels like that this thing is out of reach. Possibly whatever it is, that this wish that we set out to be, maybe we wanted to be the next greatest swimmer, or maybe we wanted to be a great, had this idea of maybe being the next like architect, or like, greatest construction thing, or that's one thing, Cancer. I am also kind of getting this energy of just kind of thinking about with the Queen of Swords, because in other cards, she usually has her hand out and her sword up. And I feel like it's paying attention to like kind of people that maybe present you with things, maybe like presenting like, oh, we can, kind of like a get rich quick kind of thing, but more so like whatever it is, like market that we have, like we have the best way for you to achieve this in the fastest amount of time we have. And it's not to say that that stuff may not be valid, but I do feel like that there's a need to kind of make sure we're doing our homework in a sense and kind of really studying up and, just using our heads when it comes to that type of stuff there, Cancer, and try not to be tricked by any sort of like illusions or, false promises or things along those lines, because there's gonna always be work, even in like the easy stuff. There's this initiative or this energy that's gonna be needed regardless there, Cancer. All right. All right, let's get your last oracle here. Thank you. Oh, all right, Cancer. So you have the seventh card of Pisces here, which is the baggage card. And with this card, this is a card of excess, unresolved issues, held together, preparedness, pack rat, fearing separation, heavy burdens, responsibility, necessities, prepared to go, next phase, and long journey. And energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is the preparedness. So it looks like for some, I feel like it's like we're getting ready for something. It's like we're getting these things kind of lined up here. And it's like I feel like we're kind of like evaluating like what that work is maybe looking like. Maybe we're trying to find what ways that we can get prepared for this type of whatever it is that we're getting ready to take on. And I feel that with this kind of like how this baggage is coming through is that there's going to be a lot in whatever it is that it's like I'm getting an energy of it's better to be over prepared than it is to be under prepared. And like I'm even getting like a Knight of Pentacles kind of coming through here, that because when I think about the Knight of Pentacles, sometimes there's this other deck that I'm thinking about getting, but there's this the phrase that they use for in that one is just like, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so I feel like that's kind of coming through here real strong, since we're talking about hallucinations developing over time. There's and I hate to just keep, well, I don't hate it, but I keep getting these just like random sort of like idioms, even like just like for some it's just like there's this energy of it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Even for some, like, let me get some tarot on this, Cancer. Cancer, let's see what's going on here. Oh, there's hubby, Queen of Cups' husband. But you have the King of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, the Five of Swords, and then the Seven of Pentacles here, Cancer. And let's switch back over. Because I feel like with this, I feel like that with the Seven of Pentacles kind of popping up here, and even this, see, I got, well, I'm showing you the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. I want to talk about them both. Because I feel that there's this thing where, sure, there are many ways to go about doing things, Cancer, but I feel like that we want to make sure that we're investing in the proper way. Not even necessarily like what we may deem the right way, because I feel like there are many ways to go about things, and just with the Five of Swords, this can be kind of a card of like kind of like this mental conflict, and this could even be like a card of just like other people's perspectives maybe kind of getting in the way, is what I'm kind of getting with this as well. Kind of telling you that way which way is the right way to this. And there's this thing that whatever it is that we choose to invest in, I feel like we want to be careful about trying to take the easy way out of this here, Cancer. And we may need to get, this might need something where we, whatever this is that we're doing, you might need to think about, maybe we're in, like, talking with a teacher possibly, or collaborating, or And I feel like with the King of Cups being here, Cancer, there is this understanding of where we may not feel that we want to put in all that work, but there is that necessity and like that's needed in order to get this thing done. You know, if that makes sense. Like, because I'm even thinking because the kings in this deck here, they're represented by the master ball, and you know, in order to become in a sense a state of getting to that mastery, you know, there is this again that takes time. You know, you're not just necessarily born a master. Even those with like those kind of innate skills and abilities in whatever field that is, there's a level of refinement that is needed as well to really kind of hone those and to really kind of master your craft. It may look different to varying degrees, but you know, it's that work is all the same there. And it's like I'm even kind of feeling with the Five of Swords. It's just like there's this energy of like these voices that are kind of coming through, or these opinions where it's just like, well, Cancer, are you sure you want to do it this way? Why are you doing it this way? Where you can totally do it that way, or you can do it this way, and it's just like, but if something is telling you to do it your way, you know, like it's, but hmm. But overall, Cancer, I do feel like that the theme is here is just like being prepared to whatever it is that wherever areas that we want to grow and we want to change and expand and things, that it is gonna, with the Three of Pentacles, require that effort, require that work, but it's going to be, and it may not seem like it in the short term, but in the long term, it's absolutely going to be worth it. So I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. Something to think about. But if you like that, Cancer, anything resonate with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, Cancer, because you know maybe we do know someone who's, you know, I mean, it's like we're trying to either take the easy way out, or there's this energy of, because that hallucination is very interesting, and you know, if we see someone who's maybe being presented with like some sort of like false ideas, or just something to pay attention to there, Cancer, you know, bring that to their attention. And then subscribe, you chariot, you lovely Queen of Cups. Subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week. And then Cancer, I don't know if you've heard, but I made a whole other channel specifically for you, just because I love you so much. And my sun signs in Cancer, and you got our hottest ticket to come over there. You don't need any of these tickets because you're Cancerian. Come over to the Chariot and Friends. Well, maybe some of you got it in your sun, or your moon, your rising, or your Venus, or Mars, since Mars is here. But come over to the Chariot Friends Mercury. I do videos daily, you know, Monday through Friday. We discuss lunar shenanigans. Our ruler actually popped out in the previous one that I did. I just got done. This is like my favorite little segment here, Cancer. I do them in I have a specific order that I'll do them in based on when they were supposed to release, and it's like I'm in that section where it's just like I do one for the Chariot and Friends, do our video for Alchemist 8, and then I do Tuesday's Chariot and Friends. So I'm just swimming in Cancerian energy. It's lovely, and all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here. I was thinking about that, Cancer. You got the Seven of Wands here, and I feel that there's a need to just, it's this interesting energy of where it's like it's being, protect your energies, Cancer, where it's like of like different criticisms, because maybe it's like how we're going about something may not be how someone else, it's different than not being prepared. It's like there's energy of how you do something is different how they're doing it, but they're trying to force their way about how you're doing it, that this is the only way that you can do it and that's it, you know, and kind of criticizing you or just kind of coming at you. But that's something to think about. But I'm even kind of getting this energy of like, for some, like there's this even like a competitive energy that's kind of coming through there. So maybe what we're working on is maybe this in this like kind of class setting, maybe it may, you know, competition is a nice source of like good motivator, Cancer, but I feel like it's trying not to get wrapped up in that, though, you know, not to let the competition, you know, get, you know, where you're doubting your skills there, Cancer. So Just something to think about there. But let's get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. All right, Cancer. Oh, interesting. All right, Cancer. So you have the fifth card here, which is the Orphaned card. And with this card, I'm almost kind of feeling with this energy, there's this a feeling of like being left behind. Maybe we feel that because this thing might take some time that we're not going to be able to leave our mark in the work, and that everyone's just going to. That's interesting, Cancer. Let me get a tarot on that real quick. Yeah. Okay, so the Orphan card is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. And yeah, I do feel like that is some. It's like it feels like that we're gonna be left behind, or like kind of left in the dust, or this thing is gonna take too long, and that we're and it's just like we're really kind of discouraged here, Cancer, and just like it's. Yeah, it's just really kind of just brought the energy kind of down a little bit here, Cancer. Whatever that is, maybe this feeling of loneliness, or this feeling of maybe having this feeling like the need to having to overcompensate, maybe even because we were maybe how we were doing it, things were different, or hmm. That's an interesting one there, Cancer. But I hope that's not how we're feeling, like where we're not doing like if we're gonna be, because I feel like it's things happen in divine timing. It might take a moment. It might be a little slow. I feel like at first to get to that state of accomplishment, but I feel like that because it's the chariot is the chariots that win, Cancer. That can be a card of victory, and the fact that that's our card. Come on, Cancer. But I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. Just little something to think about there. Hmm. But you stay safe out there, Cancer. Because I get where sometimes this kind of stuff can be a little discouraging, or it's because maybe even like with that, just one more thing with that, Cancer, because it maybe like for some it's just like we don't feel supported in a sense. And I almost feel like it kind of ties into that hallucination, maybe because it's just like something that we've kind of gotten in our head, that we're not supported, or that our dreams are not valid, or they're not even that. I'm even getting this energy of not feeling loved here, Cancer. That's a real kind of sharp turn there. But you stay safe out there with that, okay? And absolutely do some Queen of Cups, do some self care, and raise your vibration through the roof. Especially if we get down to these sort of energies of maybe feeling discouraged, or whatever that may be looking like there, Cancer. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow. Since you're going to come over to the charity friends, Cancer, maybe we figure out a little bit more what's going on with that energy. So I'll catch you tomorrow, Cancer.